Hey there, and welcome to our next video on, this is a really huge one. It's great right when you get going with your why. The next thing to do sometimes is start with setting some SMART goals as well as creating your list of 64. So we are going to start with Kirsten, who is going to help us with setting our SMART goals.
All right, guys, we are going to be talking about SMART goals. And I have this printed off because this is actually, the word SMART is an acronym for the steps that I'm going to be talking about with you today. And these are something that we set up. I'm a fourth grade teacher, so we do SMART goals every year. So down into steps. So the S in SMART goal stands for specific. So when you're setting goals, you should keep your goals very straightforward and emphasize what you want to make happen, okay? You need to keep them very specific. You need to think about what you are going to do and use action words like lead or develop or plan or build. And you really have to also think about, like, why is this important? Like, what do you ultimately want to accomplish? So that's the S. The M is measurable. When you set your goal, you want to make sure that you can measure it. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Okay, so you need to choose a goal that you can have measurable progress so you can see the change. So when you do this, you stay on track. So say you want to increase your points by 100 points. That's a very measurable goal. So also with this, you want to make sure that it is achievable. Okay, you need to set goals that are attainable. Do you have enough time to do that goal? If it's too far out of reach, you probably aren't going to commit to it. So make sure that they are attainable goals that you are setting. The R is for relevant. Your goal should be relevant to your overall objective. So if your objective is to increase by 100 points, you need to focus and be aware of those action steps that it's going to take to get there. So you should be reaching out to at least 5 people a day if you want that to happen, okay? Also, another part on relevant that I always like to do, another R word that I like to sneak in there, is to review them. It's always nice to check in on your progress and measure it as you go along. And the last one is timely. So for the T, you want to make it timely. There are no open-ended goals in SMART goals, okay? You need to set an exact timeline of when you want to complete your goal by, because setting deadlines allows you to track them. And without a deadline, I feel like commitment kind of gets kind of vague, and you feel like you can kind of start whenever, and there's really no urgency to start taking action. If you set a deadline, there's a clear target to where what you want to work toward. A couple examples I have too, just so you guys know kind of what SMART goals look like. So this is an example of one. By the end of May 2018, I will grow my business by 50%. Okay, that is specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant to my ultimate objective, and it's timely. It has that time on there. Another one could be, by the end of February 2018, I want to increase my points by 100. Okay, again, that fits in that SMART goal category, and it has a deadline, and you can kind of measure throughout. So in the end, SMART goals are essential to success, and I highly encourage you to think about yours and write it down. That's the key to it, guys. You need to write it down somewhere so you can look at it every day. So next up to talk about our list of 64 is Megan, so I'll let her take it away.
Thank you. So you've set your SMART goals. You realize that you want to grow your business, but you have to know how to grow your business, right? And that starts with coming up with some prospects of people you'd like to reach out to. And we don't want it to feel overwhelming for you, but we want you to have a great list to go from. So one of the biggest recommendations that you will get from us is to create a list of 64. That's right, 64 people, and it is totally attainable. So how do you do that? You break down the list, okay? So to do that, come up with a list of 20 people in 3 different categories, okay? So if we break down the list into 20 people who need Plexus for health, 20 people who need Plexus for business, and 20 people who might rock the business because they have some influence and then those last 4 all-stars, you're going to have an entire list of 64 people. Now, if you're sitting out there and thinking to yourself, this might seem overwhelming. Oh my gosh, how can I do that? Well, we do this by breaking it up into smaller categories. So take your list. You've got your 20 people who need Plexus for health, and start thinking of a few tired moms out there. Those moms who are complaining of headaches, those moms who have sick kids maybe, those moms who might have digestive issues. And right there, you have a list of moms who need Plexus. That's just moms, guys. That's not even people from all different categories. So next, think of some husbands that might do construction or might have a physically exhausting job where they may have inflammation and need some ease capsules to help with their inflammation. You can come up with a list of guys who need it for their health. You can come up with friends who might have digestive issues, friends with kids who might have digestive issues, friends with kids who are sick quite a bit. And we have an amazing probiotic to help them that tastes awesome. So that's just health alone. You have all these ideas in your head. Then a list of 20 of people who need the business. Do you have any friends out there who are stay-at-home moms who need that second income? What about friends out there who are working 2 jobs, working so hard and need that money? Those would be perfect people to put on this list. What about people who have lost their jobs? Or even just people who would love a little bit of extra disposable income on the side. You can start making lists of these people, and your list of 20 becomes something very, very achievable. The third category is people with influence. So do you have any friends out there who are very social? Maybe friends that are very fit. They work out in the gym all the time. Maybe some people in your small town or even big town who are in politics or have an influential position. Maybe it's even the principal of your school or a doctor at the hospital you work at. These are people who, you know, when they speak, people listen. It might even be just a friend in your group who everybody loves, and what she says goes. You know, if she says, Megan, you've got to try this probiotic, I'll tell you what, I'm on it. So think of those people who might have some influence, and now you have your list of 20 for influence. So you've got your list of 20 who need Plexus. You've got for health, you've got your list of 20 who need the business. You've got your list of 20 people who are influential. There are 4 left. Now these 4 people are gonna be your rock stars, what we might call your dream teamers, where you know if they get on board, your life might change. Their lives might change. They are people who you know are just made to do this. And you can start thinking of a few of those in your head right now who you're like, gosh, I would love to have them on my Plexus team. I would love to do life with them. That would be so much fun to travel to Hawaii with these people. So start thinking of those people, and already you've got your 64 people list. Super easy, and you don't want to leave anyone off that list, remember, because you don't want to, all of us can think of that one friend that we never reached out to, that we know someone else reached out to, and we regret it. So think of anyone and everyone and get that list together. I think next up is Allison.
All right. Kirsten shared SMART goals. You've written those down. You've written down Megan's 64 worksheet and your connections. Are you still feeling stuck this winter, stuck in place? It's time for action. I love the word action. It is so powerful. There's a couple definitions for it. It's energetic activity, exertion of power or force, effect or influence. So the secret to success, are you ready to know? It's daily activity. Daily activity that is intentional, consistent activity. And it's time to fuel your why, which we covered last time, and get focus. So stop hesitating, procrastinating, and waiting for someday. So stop the excuses. It's time. And luckily, corporate gave us a great tool. It's in our back office. So I would highly recommend printing this out, making a couple copies, and get going for the month. It breaks it down so easy. There's a share. So you want to share with 3 new people every day. Connect. You want to follow up with 3 potentials. That's customers or ambassadors. And you want to always add 3 friends on Facebook and follow up. That's all part of building your business. And it's all right on this sheet. It is so helpful. And then you want to build yourself. I love this part. You want to say affirmations. You want to review your goals. That's on here. So if you wrote down what Kirsten was talking about, it's on this sheet to review that every day to remind yourself what your goals are. And then spend 15 minutes in your back office. And these are working these all into the nooks and crannies of your day. Not many times do we have a full hour to sit down and focus on this. And I'm witness to that. I am up early. I do it at night or if I have a few minutes during the day, but it's nooks and crannies. So don't feel like you need to have a chunk of time to do this. You focus on it when you can. And there's 2 more steps on this, is dedicate time to your own health. Your own health is important because if you don't fill your own cup, how are you going to fill all these other people's cups? So there's water, taking your own products, and getting active on here. And you can check those off. And then lastly, building your brand, which we kind of hit on last time with your why. But your Facebook posts, getting involved in your community, and working all this in around your busy schedules, but nooks and crannies. I'm a great test to that. I work a lot of hours, so you got to fit that in when you can. So I'm going to turn it over to Taryn.
I love that. Thank you so much. So we have our SMART goals, we have our list of 64, and we have our action sheet or our action stack in the back office, which is a great tool, like Allison said, to print one for each day. And then you can spiral bound it or just keep it in a folder, write the date on the top. And how do you get into action using these sheets? So the biggest thing is with your list and with all of your goals and everything, really sit down and look at these people. These are people. We aren't in sales. We're not selling something. So when we say to start getting into action and reaching out to people and connecting with people and sharing Plexus, it's not about making a sale or having a team member join so that your team can grow. This is about if you can get in the mindset of what can you do for that person? How can you be a blessing to that person, love on that person, or help that person with the gift that you have, which is Plexus. So we need to reach out to people, which can be scary, but it's only scary if you have the wrong intention or you're thinking of them as a number or a sale, and then that's kind of a personal and selfish reason, so it's kind of hard and we have a mental block. So reach out to people. I will say the best thing you can do is be genuine. Ask them if you can get them on the phone. Ask them if they can come over for a play date. Ask them if they'll sit down with you and listen to your heart or talk about Plexus because you have something you really feel could help them and you just want to share it. You just want to see if it's something that they would be interested in. Use statements such as, I'd love to talk to you about these Plexus products because I see that you've been super tired. I'm not tired anymore, but maybe we could just see if it's something you'd be interested in. If you leave the ball in their court, then it's not salesy, it's not pressure, it's not, they're not thinking if I talk to her, she's going to try to close me and nail me down and make me buy something. It's okay, let's just see if it's something that I could be interested in. I say get people on the phone, have coffee dates, do as much one-on-one personal interaction as you possibly can because a lot is lost in translation when we send messages over text or messenger. Voice message is okay, but it's ideal if people can see you. They can make eye contact with you. They can see your we learned about in Super Saturday. I'm having a moment. Your what is it? Your body language. Got it. And they can see your heart and how open you are and that you really, truly just want to help. You really, truly see something in them or this business can do something for them and that you want to work with them. So send messages. Like Allison said, make sure you do your 3 a day, 5 a day, 10 a day, however many, and whatever your SMART goals are is going to be in relation to the number of messages that you send out and people you connect with on a daily basis. So be realistic about that because if you send out 3 messages a day, I don't think it's realistic to expect your team to start growing tremendously because not everyone's going to say yes right away. But connect with people, show them the gift, post on your social media some testimonies that are relatable to the people that you want to reach out to. Send them a testimony and say, I read this and I immediately thought of you. I'd love to just talk about this and see if it's something that you would want to do. If not, that's okay, but my heart thought of you because this screamed your name. And show them stories of other people. Get them in our testimony page that we have with all of the Facebook Lives. Testimonies are so powerful. So reaching out to people is critical, and then following up with people. Don't ever forget to follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up, and I love from Super Saturday when we follow up with people, we sometimes feel like we're annoying them, but they're just getting warmed up. They're just starting to learn and watch us and follow us. So make sure you check back with them, because if you follow up in a loving, genuine way, it shows that you still care, you still want to help, and it may be with Plexus, it may be now, it may be later, but the truth is you're still thinking of them and you have a reason to help them. So follow up with people. So we've got our SMART goals, which are attainable, actionable. We've got our list of 64, which is for business builders as well as people who need these products. And we've got our sheet to go off of, our IPA, income producing activity, to do daily activities. And we're going to connect with people and follow up with them, meet with them, and share our heart with them. And the more you do that, the more people will come on board with you and the more ways you'll be able to change people's lives with these products. So I hope that helps. And we are so grateful. Thank you.